Can we put an end and just move on from the love at first sight, who fell in love first scenario in Tempo? I mean, after all this time, does it really matter? No one fell in love with the fan made. I'm sorry. Someone probably said it while the series was airing, and y'all took it and ran with it. If you disagree, then argue with your daddy and his dusty ass friends, but do it over in your space and not mine. And please, please, just believe what you want to believe. I'm not here to convince anyone otherwise, but since y'all want to pull up to my comments, here we go. I feel like once people realize Po is the one who is carrying the entire story in Tempo, they might understand certain scenes a lot better. It's about his journey, and I believe that the fan meet scene was just to highlight the type of selfless person Po was and how that trait is entwined throughout the entire series. So during the fan meet scene, Mars is leaving Wonner and Thame looks out into the crowd and notices Po. As I've said before, it could be because he was extremely handsome or because he was holding a big ass camera, or maybe, just maybe, it could be because Po wasn't screaming and smiling and genuinely looked like he did not want to be there because he actually did not want to be there. He was not a fan. He didn't care for Mars. When he put the camera down, he wasn't thinking about Thame. He was done taking the 2 pictures for Fern, but realized the little girl couldn't see and picked her up. When Thame saw that act of kindness in a crowd of people who came solely to see Mars, he smiled and Po smiled back. We don't know if he was smiling at Po or smiling because that cute little fan is waving at him. Fast forward to Fern asking Po to choose his bias. He gets to Thame's picture and you see this reminiscing look on his face because he's remembering the interaction between them at the fan meet. And that's the moment Po started feeling something. Now we get to Thame meeting Po for the first time inside Wonner. That same man who smiled at Po didn't even see the kind-hearted man who picked up a fan so she could see better. All he saw was his camera, and he instantly went into defensive mode. So when people say love at first sight at the fan meet, explain where that love went. Poof, did it just magically disappear? He then walked up to him and snatched his camera, which sometimes might be understandable because some of these sasengs and paparazzis are intrusive and violate these idols, but nevertheless, it was rude. Even after they told him who Po was, he still doubted him and bumped into him while he was walking away, further proving that the fan meet wasn't about love at first sight. You never forget how people make you feel, and if Thame felt anything at all because of that fan meet, it wasn't love. Now, Thame is a person who isn't easily persuaded, so he does a deep dive and finds Po in the crowd. He arrived late to the interview, cocky as hell and rude with an attitude, and reveals to Po what he found and threatens to expose him. He doesn't care for an explanation because his mind is already made up about Po. He walks up to him again, takes his camera, and snatches his name tag. At that moment, Po had enough. They go back and forth, and after that, Thame storms off to the roof. He doesn't go to management or Pemmica with the information, and I strongly believe it was only because Po stood up to him and kind of enlightened him about how his friends might actually feel. He's now looking at the footage of his friends that Po recorded and gets so emotional that he starts crying. Only then does Thame realize the type of person Po really is. I said it earlier, you never forget how people make you feel. Po made him feel something with that footage. The joy and laughter of seeing his friends happy was all it took. And at that vulnerable moment, Po also realized who Thame truly was. It was at that specific moment, Thame finally remembered what Po did for that little girl. So when he said Po is different, he literally meant it as a compliment because Po was different. To Thame, it wasn't from a place of love, but of admiration. It's also why he told him he was doing a great job and to continue. However, when Po heard that, he decided to shoot his shot and got rejected by Thame. Why? It wasn't because Thame was in love and didn't know it. It was because he genuinely was not interested because he was not in love. And that's okay. Y'all are worried about the wrong things. Worry about why that little girl is alone at a fan meet and why a strange man is picking her up. Because who is she with? Where are her parents?